when you hoop long enough, I guarantee you're gonna run into pretty much any team you go to, any gym you go to. It's always at least one of these players here. They always got tunnel vision. They don't see nothing but them and the path to the goal. They don't pass. They got one eye open, and their eyes always locked on the goal to figure out how to score. And the only time they will pass the ball is if they just don't have a dribble and they don't have a shot. That's it. But then they're trying to get it right back in their hands to where they can figure out how to sauce them up and go score again. And we used to, oh man, pass the ball, man. That dude he don't see nothing but the goal. And honestly, I've grown to understand that their level of court vision is okay. You want that. You don't want to necessarily take that away from them. The superpower is them going to get a bucket. You just want to figure out how to utilize them the best way. But now let's zoom out to what I'm trying to get to. So court vision, right? That specific level of court vision when a person has tunnel vision and locked in one-on-one, that is more of a spotlight. Okay? So you think about going to a concert or you're going to an opera, which I've never been to, but you go to a concert or whatever, and they have three different types of lights. They have a spotlight, they have a house light, they have house lights, and they have stage lights. Okay? Let me do it again in order. So they have spotlights, they have stage lights, and they have house lights. Okay? So spotlight is as far as basketball related, you're gonna have a player who really sees just them in this one center area. So I'm really locked in one on one, and I'm trying to like make this one on one play. I don't care about the other 8 players on the court. It's just one and two. The rest of y'all, 1-4 flat, get out my way. I can care less right now. So those players' court vision is locked in as a spotlight. But now you think about your playmakers and the guys who are great scorers but also great facilitators. They know how to tap from spotlight to stage lights. So let's look at if you go, let's stay with the one-on situation, so ISO, so where, let's say I make a move, break down my defender, boom, I'm going past them, right? My next move, I have to open up my vision a little bit now to see where the help is coming from and figure out, do I have another pass or can I go score? So now that lens is went from 1 and 2 to now 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4. So that spotlight is expanded out to look at the house lights where if you go to a concert or play or whatever, the spotlight going just a single on that one person, that one player, but then it expands out to see the other artists or the other actors on the stage. So you went from spotlight to stage lights now. So now you see the stage. So now as a playmaker, you've expanded your vision to see the whole court now, to where you can see the next pass available or see how to score now because you have more people to cater to and figure out how to get around now. So let's go pick and roll. Same thing. If I pick and roll one-on-one, then I go pick and roll. I have to expand my vision now to see more than just 1 and 2. So I'm not getting my monologue on the stage out no more. I have to interact with the other actors on stage. And I have to figure out now how to keep this play going by communicating with the other actors. I can't do a whole act by myself when you got the house lights on, there's other characters here. That just don't make sense. So same thing in basketball to where you can't just stay locked in on the tunnel vision and spotlight vision. You have to expand out now to go to your house lights. So now from there, you want to go from spotlight to stage lights to now house lights. House lights is where, in more of the theatrical sense, where um, the people on stage, they turn the lights on. Now you can see everything and everybody. So I see the characters up here with me, and I see the fans or the viewers or the audience or whatever now. So same thing in basketball to where sometimes you pull back those reins and you see the entire floor. Every point guard has to be able to see the stage lights, house lights, and spotlights. You have to be able to see all of that. Every great playmaker sees all of this. You understand exactly what I'm talking about. So when you take a step back, let's say like in a situation we see a player going one-on-one, I have to go from um, house lights and see everything and everybody to where now I'm zooming in now and I can go spotlight mode and it's just one-on-one now. But now let's zoom out a little bit and go pick and roll. So I'm worried about me, my defender, my teammate coming to set this pick, and their defender now. I'm not worried about the whole floor now. I'm really worried about these 4 people, these 4 characters. But now once I make my move and I go, now I zoom out more to see the house lights to where I make my move and I go. I'm off the pick and roll now. Now I have to see if he's stepping up, if the dude from the corner is going to help in so I can kick out to that guy in the corner, or does he roll this way and does he suck in now from the guy who rolled? I can kick it out to the opposite corner, or I can go pick and pop, or I can swing to the other guy who came out. You know what I mean? It's just you have to be able to see all of that. That encompasses a great player who has all court vision. The three levels of court vision that I think all players might be somewhat aware of, but it's hard for every player to tap into because some players are really great at spotlight scoring. They know how to get a bucket and it's like nobody's business. Like the Jamal Crawfords, the Lou Wills, the J.R. Smiths, AIs, Melos. Man, they ball hogs, man. All they know how to do is to score. And few people can score like them. So hey, go get a bucket. You feel me? Like just be great, do what you do. And so you don't want to take away people's greatness in that area and force them to be a house light or a stage light performer or player when their super strength, the superstar status comes from being a spotlight. Of course, it'd be great to add a couple more passes and make the team basketball go. But when you're so strong in spotlight scoring, it's hard for you to want to pull back from it. And the opposite is true, to where this player just won't score the ball. They see the pass and they overpass sometimes. And you want to figure out how to adapt to that to where they're not just out here making every pass available because when you only see house light mode, sometimes you miss opportunity to score in the spotlight. So you may have this layup, but you're trying to force this pass over um, because you're in stage light mode. So you see this next pass available, but it was a forced pass, and now you put that big in a bad position to try to score now when you had the easy layup before. I see it all the time with players uh, like Rondo or CP3. Sometimes they just overpass. Sometimes like, bro, just go score the ball. You had the pass right there, and so we have to figure out that players have had their super strength of being a great stage light and house light passer, and this player has a super strength of being a spotlight scorer. And I think we have to do a better job of adding and supplementing a little bit more of what they lack. So you want a J.R. Smith to be able to make this pass if available and know through watching film or whatever that, yeah, you're getting double teamed, but there's a better pass right here to make, and that'll help the team out by making this pass. You don't want him to fully commit and just take away superpower of being able to score in this zone because now you're taking away his buckets that helps your team. Because more than likely he's scoring like that because somebody else on the team can't score that well sometimes. So and you don't want to take away that house light and spotlight scorer or passing ability because that's what helps get everybody involved. Because without them, more likely you won't have the next player getting involved, be able to shoot and score the ball. Because this player can't score in the spotlight. They're more of a team player where they're great on the catch and shoot. And so me being a house light passer, I understand that I can drive. I see the whole court. He sucked in. Boom. Now my girl over there in the corner, she's knocking down every tray ball she get because I'm being a great passer that I am to give my players the opportunity to score. So um, I think there's a nuance, vibe, and feel to it that you have to flow through and figure out what training fits and what coaching fits each player. But you don't want to always force the guy or girl that's tunnel vision to just be automatically switch and be just pass happy. And you want to get that pass happy point guard to lock in and just go straight scoring because more than likely you need that for that team. So if your team suck, you got nothing but defensive players, and I start passing the ball to defensive players, and nobody's scoring now. Like back in the early 2000s, you would have Allen Iverson with a whole bunch of defensive players. He had Dikembe Mutombo, Eric Snow, and Theo Ratliff as another big at one point, and a whole bunch of guys who were great defensive players. If AI's not averaging 30 and nobody else giving you even 20 points, how are we going to win? I can pass you the ball, yeah, that's cool, but you ain't going to do anything with it but get a turnover or a bad shot and a miss. So yeah, I'm staying in the spotlight more. I'm just going to cook and figure out what I can do. But I will open up to a stage light every once in a while and dump off to Dikembe or give it to Aaron McKee or kick out to Eric Snow and hit the mid range, around the free throw line. You get the opportunities every once in a while, But me being Allen Iverson in this situation, I have to be spotlight. I have to stay there. I have to be 48 minutes of just go, just tunnel vision, kill, just go, whatever, just work, and go to a Draymond Green or a Rondo with the old Celtics, right? Rondo being that pass first guy, he was able to make everybody happy. So Paul Pierce, you want to get yours? Cool, boom, here you go. Oh, Riley ain't touched the ball in a couple plays, let me kick it out to you, boom. Oh, KG working pick and roll, all right, let me pick and pop to him. Perk, you working hard on defense in here. So I'm staying in house like mode to figure out how to feed everybody and get all my crew members involved, make sure everybody eating. You wouldn't want Rondo and that team to sit back and say, "Hey, Rondo, go put up 30 this game." Like, hold on, whoa. Paul Pierce looking at him crazy. Like, hold on, young buck. Give up that rock. You been shooting a little too much now. I ain't got my touches in. Reality over in the corner, like, yo, what's up, man? Like, ain't gonna three off this quarter. What you doing? KG, he might not trip as much because he wasn't trying to score anyway. But I'm pretty sure at some point he'd be like, "Hey, man, give up that rock. Like, what you doing, man?" So you don't want to force too much from players sometimes to just force them to be from tunnel vision score to pass first point guard, or even sometimes pass second guard. Sometimes the best first two options is for them to score, and sometimes for the pass first point guard, the best first two options is for them to pass. So you don't want to force guys to go so heavy to one end of the spectrum to the other. You'd rather take a spotlight scorer and get him to be more of a stage light passer or a scorer to see a little bit more opportunity. And you want to take the house light passer to see a little bit more stage light scoring to where now you have more balance to it. To where now, you're like your Draymond, you're easy to guard now because you're not gonna shoot the ball. So I'm gonna just back up to the free throw line or stay in the paint and just camp out, just chill right here because you're not gonna score the ball. But then you want to be able to just double and triple team this guy or box and one this guy or girl, and they're easy to guard now because they're not gonna pass it. So I can just double team and just go blitz them, and we're good. So you want to get him to be able to. I think all great scorers go through this transition where they just know how to score for them at first, and then they transition to be able to get the other teammates involved a little bit easier now. So um, just think about it like this too. Look at every great scorer's assist and their scoring points. Once they got to a point where consistently averaging like 27 and up, at some point you'll see their assists start to go up too. So James Harden, he was primarily the point guard with OKC, but in Houston he was just a bucket, go get a bucket. But he still know how to lob to Dwight Howard and later on Clint Capella. He know how to kick out to his shooters. Ryan Anderson back in the day, Trevor Reeves at some point, and PJ Tucker later on. To where at first it was a bucket, but then I'm getting double teamed so much. Let me just kick it out to where you can score now. Westbrook was just a bucket at first, but then he figured out how to manipulate the defense and create opportunities and see the cold court to be able to pass now. Same thing for KD. Same thing. Every great scorer goes through this metamorphosis phase where they figure out how to go from me getting buckets to where my team can score too, a little bit too. So um, I think that these three levels of court vision are a really dope idea that can add to a nuanced conversation of how to train and coach certain players. So if you're a spotlight scorer, be great, but figure out how to be more of a stage light passer too. And if you're a house light passer, figure out how to be a little bit more of a stage light scorer too to have a balance and flow. So if you're a one or a three, figure out how to add more of two rather than just completely changing and flipping roles. So hope this help you out. Comment below, subscribe to the channel, and comment what you think, what you feel below. Share it with a coach, a homie, teammate, whatever. Any love and all of us appreciate it. So thank you. Have a good one.